supreme. Follow your destiny in the battle supreme. Fight for your legacy in the battle supreme. Follow your destiny, battle supreme.
What's up, cats and dogs? We're back. It's been a while. Good to see you.
It's been a while.
Been a while. We got some big news here. Creed is coming back, guys.
Is that official?
Is that official?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw their.
I think they're doing a tour.
You know,
No
I'm big
way.
hyped
Yeah.
on that, dude.
Oh no, I'm definitely going.
They did a little post, and it was like the music, and it was like blah blah, and it had a date. So I don't know if it's gonna be like a new release or if it's just a tour. Most people are saying it's just a tour because like
Scott Stapp,
When did
baby.
their first album come out?
I honestly don't know.
Like 97.
97.
And then
Something like
somewhere
that,
in the
yeah.
90s, but either way, we're getting Creed back, baby. Let's go.
All my buddies at work were like, "You can't be serious," because I got extremely hyped, and I'm like, "We're talking about it. You think I'm not serious?
Come
I love
on.
Creed." Yeah.
Oh, dude, I saw them change their profile picture a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was before the announcement.
Yeah,
And I screenshotted it. I sent it to
Yeah.
Julie. I was
it's
like,
pretty lit.
eyeball emoji.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in that bitch.
No, most definitely. Most
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll be curious to see like where they play if they do a tour. Like how big would it actually be? You know what I mean? Like,
How
Yeah.
big are they still?
yeah, I feel like it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I mean,
But
yeah. If they come to Chicago, yeah, I don't know where they would play.
yeah,
I don't know.
Probably Allstate or something like that.
be
You
interesting.
think arena
Chicago
size?
theater, dude.
Chicago Theater.
I mean, I could see them doing like Tinley Park with some other bigger names.
I can see that.
Like
Yeah.
where it's not just like Creed and Nobody's, but it's like
Yeah.
Creed and another throwback
Yeah.
band. You know what I mean?
Take
like,
it in '99.
Yeah, you know, like that gives the whole
Yeah.
vibe going.
Your dad's favorite rock band?
Yeah.
Because I mean, at one point they were like the biggest rock band.
Yeah,
like
they-
when they
yeah.
came out and they had the hit
Oh, they were
songs, like
huge.
they were huge. So
Halftime show at the Cowboys game.
that's what I mean. Like they were legitimately super big. They
With
just
that bald guy?
they died
Everyone
off.
wishes they were there, dude.
They just died off super hard, and then
Yeah.
Epic.
you know it was like no
Scott
more.
Stapp went basically insane.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a pill addict?
Yeah, I don't know. Then he said he saw an angel on the hood of his car, and he
Oh,
like
dude, he went through a psychiatric break, like
Yeah.
a psychotic break, where he was following like an angel.
he was
thought it
following an
Jesus,
angel
and he
that was on the
going
hood of his
around.
car, and he like drove across the
He left
country.
his family. Yeah, and he like went.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
walked hard.
That dude was
He
walking.
walked hard. If there needs to be a
Most definitely.
documentary, I
Dude,
feel
right?
like that's the documentary that we need is the Scott Stapp documentary or the Creed documentary, I guess you could call it.
About his chin surgery?
Yeah, that too.
His plastic surgery?
It's Crimson Chin, bro. Crimson Creed.
It's like, we just dropped a news bomb on you guys on the Battle Supreme.
All right, just tell them what we're doing.
So, well, we kind of alludes to what we're talking about today. We said they're going to go on a tour. This whole episode is themed around live concerts. We're going to have another chill conversation piece episode.
Wow.
And we're just going to talk about all the cool concerts that we've all been through in the past. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot together. So I think we'll kick things off. What do you guys remember your first live event? Because I know we talked before, there's a difference between maybe a live event versus like I'm going to this show. So like what's the first concert, I guess, or live event you can remember in your recollection?
The first live event concert I ever even went to was Smashing Pumpkins. I was a sophomore in high school, and
Really?
they were like it wasn't a reunion show, but it was like they were just playing like one night at the Aragon Ballroom, and I was in the car with my parents. We were going to Target. It was like a fucking Wednesday or a Thursday, some random night during the week. I had school the next day. I get a call from my buddy who I was in a band with, Matt Gutierrez. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Nothing with my parents. You want to go see a concert tonight? My dad's driving. And like back then, I would never ask my parents to do stuff like that because I would assume they'd say no.
Yeah,
And I asked them, and they said, "Yeah, sure."
that's
And
awesome.
we got back super late. We went to gyms afterward. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
the first time I heard like, I mean, obviously the ones you hear on the radio. But
Yeah.
like some of them, it's like they were a great band.
Oh
They had
yeah.
an opening act. They got booed off stage. Billy Corgan came on stage and like had to like calm the crowd down.
That's
Do you
hilarious.
know
Yeah, bro.
what year was that approximately?
Probably 2007,
Okay.
2008, or
'Cause I
whatever.
know now I think
They
they
put
have
out an
the OG,
album.
They have the OG members back, or at least the OG guitar player, but I don't know if they did at that time. What's the
This
drummer's
is
name?
Jimmy Chamberlain.
Jimmy Chamberlain.
This is when they still had him in the band.
He was still in the band.
I'm pretty sure it was all original. It was like the first time they played a show
Maybe it was at
since
that
like the
time.
90s,
That
like
was
late
probably
90s
at
or early
that time
2000s. And then they announced they were making a new album, but then the band like basically broke up, or it just didn't happen until the most recent thing,
Yeah, they're on and off.
like years later. Well,
I know the guitar player. I'm pretty sure he started. He's in a Perfect Circle.
Billy Corgan's got that tee shot.
Really?
The guitar player from Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, he's the guitar player. Perfect Circle.
I don't think
Like
so.
he always
Is
has
he?
been?
I thought he was.
The guitar tech from Tool is the guitar player from A Perfect Circle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's another band I'm talking about. I'm
Could
thinking
be.
of.
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
look-
look it up later.
Real quick, Larry,
Hold on.
you're kind of off the camera. If
On my
there's any
phone.
way you could scoot
Nah, bro.
towards Frank a little bit more.
Put your leg
This guy
inside
smells a
the
little
leg.
bit. I don't know if I want to go over there.
I got baby spit on me.
There we go.
Oh, God.
There we go.
Look at this rook.
How about
Can
that?
you
huh?
see him?
Sorry to interrupt.
It's probably better that we don't.
Yeah, he looks good now.
So sorry to interrupt.
Oh my God.
Proceed. No, that's badass. I've always wanted to see the Smashing Pumpkins. To be
It was
honest.
sick.
Yeah, I think Mike was at that show.
No,
I was like
With
a
Uncle
little, I
Jeff.
was such a little kid too. It was crazy. Like my buddy's dad was like, he just kept telling us to keep going forward because we were little kids and everybody else had to be
Yeah.
late 20s, 30s, like people who were fans, like who wanted to be there because they were fans in the 90s, and we just kept on walking up as close as we can get.
I think they saw him at the UIC Pavilion.
Oh, okay.
It was like 06. It was when that one album came out.
With Tarantula.
Yeah, Revolution.
Yeah.
He said, "We are stars." Yeah, I heard like nobody liked that album, but I think I liked it because of the age.
Because of the time in our lives, yeah.
Yeah. But
What a time to be alive.
alright. Anyone else? Dude, what was your first concert?
So, my first real concert was Kings of Leon. It would have been summer of 2010, I believe. Tinley Park. It was epic. It was amazing. I think
Is that when they were touring?
Wasn't it
What do you call it?
Only
Was
by
it-
the Night.
It was only when I was before Come Around Sundown.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm trying to think of who opened. It was like the Shins
Ooh,
and Built to Spill, the two bands that opened.
emotional.
Pretty good.
So-
And trying to think.
That was with the mudslides.
Yes. So yeah, we went there. Got there super early. It was my first show. We're just in the lawn, all that. I was super hyped. Super into Kings of Leon. Still love them, but at that time I was like super into them. And somewhere in like the middle of their set, like early-ish, it just like started raining, and it was like a pretty good storm. It wasn't just like a drizzle either. Like it was like big clouds and stuff, but yeah, it just started pouring. Everybody got soaked, and then in the lawn, people just started taking their shirts off and like sliding down and created like a mud slip and slide, and it was just super epic, and it was just so awesome. So that was my first concert. But honestly, I mean, I feel like I had quite a few musical like things before that, but I'm trying to think. Like, it sounds weird, but I think that was like the summer I was going into 7th grade. But like, when were we playing stuff? Would it have been around the same time, like
Yeah.
the Sweet and Treats candy
Yeah.
store shows and
Yeah,
stuff?
I
Like,
remember you told
it would
me
have been like right around the same time.
It was like literally right then or right before.
Yeah, you went in like 2009, or was it like 08?
I think it was 2010.
Was it 2010? So did they come back like for
Yeah.
a second time? Because I
Yeah.
was gonna say that album came out in what, 08?
It was late in that year, so they
Oh, okay.
they toured like
Talking about Only by the Night?
2009 to 2010. They might have played 2 shows, but I'm pretty sure it was 2010.
Yeah, it was around that. I mean, because we graduated 8th grade in 10, and Sweet and Streets era was like 8th grade year.
You guys used to play at a candy store?
That was like the.
Yeah, that's where I met
that
David.
Was the humble beginnings, man. We
Fat.
we were throwing out our own shows at the local candy store.
So it's like potentially.
Classic.
I don't
Willy
remember
Wonka,
the
dude.
exact timeline of this, but potentially, I might have started playing right around the time I went to my first concert, like real concert. So it's like at that time I was already like getting into like the music thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and then right after that, I remember. I think it has to be 2010 because I think 2010 is also when I went to Live 59 for the first time for the Battle of the Bands that year.
Oh yeah.
I saw the Battle of the Bands with all local bands, and that was like my first local like show at a venue. And I'm pretty sure that was like that winter, after I had gone to that show that summer. If my
Probably.
timeline is correct, but I could be off. But either way, yeah. So it was like right around then, that's when I started being like get the music bug kind of thing going on, and I definitely seen live music like as a kid at like random things, but nothing that really like stands out. So yeah, that's pretty much that.
He says, "Oh wait, when you said Sweet Streets, it reminded me of that one meme of that metalcore band playing at Denny's. What the fuck is on Denny's?"
That was literally us. But I know there's pictures, so I feel like if I find the pictures, it's gonna be old pictures, and there'll be a date on the on the
Date, yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know who. Like, would it have to be like on
Ben might have
someone's profile? But I don't know whose profile would have the pictures. Still,
Yeah.
We'll check it out. Stay tuned.
I'm just gonna go to yours and start scrolling, see what happens.
So our first concert's probably intertwined with Larry and I, so we can kind of piggyback off each
Probably the first like 5.
other. Yeah, we've been
I
to much
mean,
yeah,
I don't know that for a fact, but yeah.
We're cousins. We grew up together. Had a lot of first memories. So, our first legit concert, like at a theater, what was it? Australian Pink Floyd.
It was Australian Pink Floyd with I don't know if anybody
It
opened
was just
might have been
Australian Pink Floyd.
yeah.
It was at the Rosemont.
At the
Theater.
Rosemont Horizon, or at the Rosemont Theater, yeah.
Rosemont Horizon was originally All-State Arena.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
All-State Arena was originally Rosemont
Yeah.
Horizon. But yeah, Australian Pink Floyd. What were we like 12, 11,
Yeah, it wasn't probably. It was. We were younger than that.
10?
We went. We were in 6th grade. Because
yeah, it'd be like
cause then
10,
we,
11.
yeah, because then we saw Metallica when we were in 7th grade. That was in 2008.
Yeah.
Because I remember that was during the election. I just remember that because I remember talking to my friends at school, and people had like Barack Obama shirts on and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was around
Talking
that time.
politics.
Oh
Seventh
yeah.
grade?
Oh yeah.
On the water cooler, in the
Oh
morning.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
That
awesome.
election, it was like in the schools.
Because we saw the Ides of March, Jim Peterick, local boy from the 70s.
That was our first
He did
live.
the song Vehicle, yeah, and
We
that was
said
at the
we
Berwyn
remember.
Fest, and there was
Of
a
course.
yeah, oh
yeah,
yeah,
it was at the Burbank
and it
Fest.
was Berwyn as hell. You know what I'm saying? And
Where did they play?
Alex was living in Berwyn at the time, and I used to live in Berwyn and moved out to the suburbs, and then
Chuck.
yeah, Chuck,
baby.
yeah, one of
Yeah,
Al's
one
friends. What was your buddy's name? Russ?
No, it was
Joe?
Joe Ermis.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, what was it? One of the horn players was his neighbor, but he
Yeah.
was this like old lady to the right of us, and she's like, Chuck,
Yeah.
Chuck, baby.
This old like biker girl with like leather skin. It's just like totally hitting on
I
the
remember we looked
dude
at
in
each
the
other and
band.
started laughing.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But we saw that, but I don't know if that would really count as. I mean, it was definitely a
It
concert,
was a
but like
musical
we went to the
experience.
carnival, and the band was at the carnival. But when we went and saw Australian Pink Floyd, it was tickets to a show, to like a strictly concert for music and the whole light show and everything. It was like it was amazing.
And
It'd be amazing for today's standards if I went back. I haven't seen them since, but like when you're not even a teenager and you're like just getting into music, you're on, you're listening to Pink Floyd and it's far out and you're like, what the hell? And then you see the show and like an Australian Pink Floyd, for those that don't know, is like the greatest Pink Floyd cover band that you can see today, or at least at then. I don't know about now.
They
but
still tour.
yeah,
and
they're
do big
awesome.
things.
I mean, it's seriously one of those things. Like you
They have
close
the
your eyes, it's
theatrics.
they do it all exactly.
Yeah,
Big inflatable pigs and shit. All the type of the wall. They have the wall like breaking down
the
like throughout the
boulevard.
show. Yeah, it was so cool, captivating.
Better
Yeah.
than Pink Floyd?
I mean,
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool Floyd cover bands, but I've never seen another one like legitimately, so I can't really speak if
Yeah.
they're actually the best or not. But yeah, you close your eyes and it's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
you're
it wouldn't.
there. It was. Yeah.
You really couldn't have gotten better. You could have gotten as good as them as far as playing covers, but it was literally just as good. Like you almost couldn't tell.
Well, I count these together, so we'll just talk about it while we're here. Our next big concert was Metallica.
Yeah.
The next year. That's what at the time, we were like, that was the first real concert
Yeah.
we went to. That was our first arena show.
Yeah, and it was a band, like, Australian Pink Floyd's a Pink Floyd cover band. So it was like, we're seeing a cover. It was still an awesome show, and I'm not knocking it by any means, but Metallica is their own original band, and that was at the Allstate when Death Magnetic came out.
Legends at that point.
Yeah,
Right before they went post-Prime. Yeah, like, I love the album Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
That's the Death Magnetic tour. They played some deep cuts in there. And it was at a very impressionable age. That's when we were, like,
Yeah.
balls deep. Like, we were just starting, but we were just in it, dude. You're just, like, in your room fucking playing for hours, coming home from school.
I remember I got the CD, and I let my gym teacher borrow it, Mr. Vetter.
Yeah.
And he played it when we were in gym, like doing whatever we were doing in gym, and then you just hear, that was just your life or whatever the opening song is. Yeah. And I was like, dude, sweet. Like, and my gym teacher was cool and shit. He was a rocker, so he was like, yeah, Larry brought the new Metallica CD in, and I was all hyped. Yeah, it was sick.
See, now it really makes sense why you guys like it so much. Because every time I think about that album, I was not that young when it came out.
Yeah, dude, it was totally.
It was
like,
an impressionable age. For
Oh,
well,
definitely.
we just heard like we had just gotten into music like hardcore.
Yeah.
Like before that, we were extreme wrestling fans, and that was like the bridge. Like right when we bridged from wrestling into music was right when that album came out, and we still loved wrestling, and it was like aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, and the music, it was perfect. It could have been like a wrestling theme song, like type of music. You know what I mean? Like album. So I feel like that had a lot to do with it too, like bringing in that sound, like from like the Attitude Era, like wrestling. I feel like there's like a weird subconscious like connection there with the music. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But no, it was awesome. And the Sword was sick too. We only caught the end of their set, but they opened up for them, and I knew of them then, but I like them a lot now. And they actually just disbanded. But
Did they really?
yeah. But they're a really good band, and they killed it. It was them and Machine Head.
Yeah, it was Machine Head,
It
too.
was the Sword, and
It was
then
a stacked
Machine
bill.
Head, and
Stacked
then
bill.
yeah, dude, and then Metallica. It was amazing.
Shout out. I can't talk about this concert experience without fucking talking about the hand incident. So,
Oh, dude,
when we were at the
I didn't even
arena,
think about this.
it was about the end of the show, they started throwing guitar picks everywhere. Shout out to our cousin
Oh,
Marty
God.
and our buddy Foley, who now
Foley.
lives in Florida.
Down in Jacksonville.
But they were throwing out picks, fucking Foley, and everyone knows Marty's like, yeah, it's something Marty would do. Love you, buddy. But literally, Foley's hand was on the fucking pick. He had that shit.
Kirk Hammett
Marty
throws a guitar pick
straight
out.
Bold faces, like I'm not even kidding. He claims it was an accident. I think he stomped on his fucking hand to get that pick.
He broke his hand
Maybe not on purpose, but like in the heat of the moment, he's like, that pick's mine. He stepped on Foley's hand
and broke it.
and broke it.
Like legitimately broke his hand.
And after that,
Damn.
Foley, like, it's not like he actually hated him, but there was like that running joke. He like, fuck you, Marty.
Yeah, well,
All
he
the
never
time,
let it
all
go.
the
I mean, how
time,
could you
yeah.
let that go?
He
He didn't
never
even
let
give
it
him.
go.
And then Marty,
He didn't even get the pick.
and Marty kept
And
the pick.
that's like Marty's favorite band, one of his favorite bands of all time.
Yeah,
If I had asked him, he'd probably say top 3 to 5.
yeah,
And that's definitely Foley's favorite band ever.
ever.
Ever. So he
Ever.
wanted that fucking pick.
Yeah.
Like, he's seen him on every tour since he could go to their tours.
God
like,
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wanted
Foley
that
has seen him.
fucking
Yeah,
pick.
exactly.
Yeah.
So-
He's in the Met Club.
So basically, don't
Yeah.
go to concerts with Martin Huff.
Yeah.
Yeah, his band.
Might lose a limb.
The thing is, it's like where do you go with that? Because it's like, do you give him the pick because you broke his hand, or
Yeah.
you figure
That's
you
what-
figure I already broke this
That's
guy's
what a regular
hand.
person would do.
Marty has
I already
it-
broke
he
his
has-
hand.
he has
I'm
it
keeping the
framed.
pick.
He literally has it framed.
Yeah, it is. It
He
he
still has
he
it.
still has the pick and
It's
it's
framed,
framed.
It's got Foley's blood on it.
Yeah, right.
There's
Bone
blood-
fragments.
There was blood shed that night. And last button, I remember waking up that next morning, young as fuck. My neck was so fucking sore.
Oh, I'm-
Yeah.
My neck was never so sore in my life. Like I could have quite literally whiplash.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
We were deep, man. My dad was there. Our cousin Steve was there. Marty was there. Your brother Mike
Yeah,
was
Mike was
there.
there.
Foley
Melanie
was
was
there.
there.
Melanie was there too. Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. We had my My dad had a big GMC van, and we loaded the van up. And it was awesome.
Good memories.
Memories, huh?
Wild.
08.
Anyone got another cool one they want to bring up?
Oh, I mean, I got countless ones.
We've been hogging the mic. I'll let you guys pass it on.
I will just throw it out there that I did look it up, and so one of the early Sweets and Treats shows was 2009. So technically, I was playing before I even went to my first real concert, because the Kings of Leon show was 2010, because they started their tour in 2009, but they started in other countries and made their way to America
Makes sense.
to end it.
I got that. I see.
So yeah.
I would hate to end a world tour somewhere where you don't live.
Yeah,
And you
now
have to
it makes
have
sense now. Yeah.
It's a 15-hour flight back home or something.
Yeah, that's
yeah, so
facts.
it's pretty crazy. I guess I never thought about it like that this whole time.
Yeah.
But it's like I was already trying to play before I even went to like a real show. It's kind of wild.
That's what I was doing. I was
Yeah.
playing drums to CDs just downstairs in the basement
Yeah.
before I ever even had a thought to go to a concert.
Well, yeah, not everyone had, like, some families don't have the money,
Yeah.
or some parents are just
Yeah.
not into it, or sometimes, like, you know, just
Yeah.
things happen. Not everyone
This is
just,
very
like, goes
true.
to concerts, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Very true.
me and Al are blessed because we have an uncle, our Uncle Jeff, shout out Uncle Jeff, who's connected with Ticketmaster through his work. So we would get hooked up, you know, and he knew once we found out we were into music, he totally took care of us. So anybody was coming he worked at the Rosemont, still does. So he would take care of us.
I
If
mean-
anything comes through, or to Allstate, or
I've been to countless things because of him.
yeah, even
Yeah.
wrestling
Yeah.
events, any type of
Once you
event that
start-
comes to Chicago,
yeah.
he has an in, and it has helped us a great deal for over a decade. So
yeah.
grateful for that.
God
And
bless.
he always
God
he
bless.
always thinks of us too. You know,
Yeah.
he'd be like, "Oh, I got tickets. I got 2 extra. You
Yeah.
boys are coming with me." Took us to the fucking Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam.
You too.
Yep.
Fucking. That's what I'm saying.
The
like,
Doobie Brothers, Dave
Yeah.
Mason.
That's what I'm saying. Like all
Yeah.
the names we
We
spelled.
can
We
go
can go
on,
deeper
yeah.
into him, but like, yeah, he
Been to
we've
a
seen
lot, man.
Fucking
We're
legends
grateful.
because of that dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He actually texted us was like 2 months ago. He's like, "Hi motherfuckers, I got us tickets at the UC. We're gonna go see Pearl Jam."
Fuck yeah.
So we're going to see Pearl Jam in September. So,
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going with Uncle Jeff.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's one I
Yeah.
want to try to get to.
Yeah, he hooked it up.
Yeah, so badass.
Lit.
I'm trying to think.
We saw the Who.
Yes.
We did, yeah. We
That
saw
was
the-
badass.
That was one of those.
That was badass, honestly. It's funny, I was actually just talking about that at work today with an intern that was talking about like punk bands, and I was talking about like if he considered the Who like a proto punk band. And he was like, "Yeah, I would, like them and the Kinks and stuff like that." And then I was telling him like, "Dude, I saw the Who. I mean, what was left of the Who was just Pete and Roger, but
But don't.
Peter Palladino was
Yeah,
on
it's
bass,
Pino Palladino,
and
dude.
Ringo Starr's son was
Yeah.
on drums.
Zach Stark.
So it was like legit, like you knew, even though it wasn't the original lineup, you still notable players in the band.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And also, Eddie Vedder came out.
That's right.
Yes.
So we
That's
can talk
totally
about
right.
The weekend, the debauchery we went on was a 2-day binge. We went to the Rosemont Theater the day before that,
Yeah.
and it was a Eddie Vedder, Pete Townsend led event with friends. It was for a fundraiser.
I think it was the next day.
was it one
It
of
was
the
the
day-
Who first, and then the next day, because then the next day Roger was talking about how his voice was shot.
Yeah, he came out. He couldn't sing for
Yeah.
the event. Yeah, so whatever. We went on a 2-day
Yeah,
binge.
back to back.
We went to the Rosemont Theater again. Uncle Jeff works there, and it was for a fundraiser. Joe Walsh was there.
That's right. What's his name from Cheap Trick?
Yeah,
the guitar
Rick-
player from Nielsen.
Rick Nielsen?
Rick Nielsen.
Who else was there? Was Joan Jett there? I think she might have been. I know there was a famous
We saw
female
Joan Jett.
artist. So have I.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think it was Joan Jett. 'Cause Joan
She
Jett
opened.
opened up for the Who. It
Yeah, I was
Joan
gonna say
Jett
she
that
opened
night.
for that show, so it makes
Damn.
sense.
So
she was
yeah,
there.
I did see her
And
twice,
they
3 times.
They
Then.
kind of played a cover medley and also like featured like famous songs from
Yeah.
each of the artists. Played some Joe Walsh.
Like a
songs,
songbook.
tunes.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
Sick.
it was super cool. The only thing I'm gonna complain about before we get off the Who rant. Don't tell people not to smoke fucking weed at your shows when you know that's what people are going to come and have a good time. Roger Waters like
Roger Daltrey.
Roger Daltrey. Sorry, not
Yeah,
Roger Waters.
He would
Rod-
probably bitch about that too, though.
Yeah, whatever. I don't.
That guy bitches about everything.
But yeah, Roger Daltrey just like stopped. He's like, I "Oh, you guys want to smoke some of the green? Enjoy yourself." But he's like, "My voice can't handle it these days. I'm gonna stop the concert if I smell it again." Type shit. He didn't exactly say that. I remember
Yeah.
he said it in between songs.
He did. He was threatening.
Yeah, he was like, I
He's
can't
like
do
threatening
it.
to end the show. I'm like, how about you realize what age you are and maybe you should hang up the boots if it's really that
Yeah,
bad.
or
I'm
just
not trying
or
to be a
just
dick,
step
but-
back. Step back. I mean, you're not going to be blazing for an hour and a half straight. Just step.
Sing us out of a bubble.
Yes, or just sing closer to the drummer for a couple songs. It'll smoke will clear and pull up.
And then I
whatever.
see fucking Keith Richards smoking stanges in the middle of an arena when you know he gets fined every time and
Yeah,
doesn't give a fuck.
that's rock and roll, baby.
That's what I'm saying. You're at a rock and roll show and you're a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
Your bandmate's
Your
smoking a
bandmates
cigarette
used
next
to
to you.
blow up
Yeah.
equipment on stage. You went soft, my guy.
Yeah. No, that's
You
for
went
real.
soft. I'm sorry. I love you
Yeah.
though. I love that band. They're one of those bands that I don't think of all the time, but when their songs are on, I'm like, yeah, I really fucking love the Who.
Yeah.
They're classics. Dude.
They are
So-
great.
I used to not really like the Who, but now I really like the song "Real Me."
Doctor.
Can you see the real me?
Doctor.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you see the real me? Yeah.
That's
No,
still just about it though.
I really like that one song, but everything else, whatever.
I like a lot of their tunes. I wouldn't like put them in like the category of like one of my favorite bands, but
No,
definitely
yeah.
a band that I like. Like
Yeah.
if it's on,
You
I'm
could
gonna
label,
jam out to it.
could label them iconic.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
Right.
definitely. I
They were at Woodstock and shit. But yeah, I mean, we've seen so many concerts, man. I mean, even the three of us, we went to Bonnaroo in 2015.
Yeah,
we
that
saw
was
like
crazy.
we saw like easily 15 shows together just in those 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Plant,
Yeah, Robert Plant.
Alabama Shakes,
Yeah, My
Robin
Morning Jacket,
uh,
King
who else?
Gizzard.
King Giz.
King Giz,
That's one of
yeah,
the first American shows.
Slayer. Shortly
It was their
A little bit
first
of
one.
Slayer.
Yeah, we were there.
caught the end of Slayer set.
Yes.
Were you guys at Bela Fleck?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bela Fleck was there, banjo player. That was amazing. Who else was there?
Mac DeMarco was
Mac
there.
DeMarco. Yeah, I was wasted for that show and laying in the grass, and he was probably wasted too.
That was like, yeah, that was the first music festival we ever went to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like real legitimate music festival, super inexperienced. Like now when we go to music festivals,
Yeah.
we're fucking.
We were
decked
like-
out.
we were
didn't even-
17.
We didn't even bring a canopy, dude.
17
no,
or
our
18.
neighbors saved our fucking lives, dude. We did not know what we were doing.
We had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, and it was,
But it was
hot
amazing.
as hell.
Yeah, young as hell. We just pulled up to Murfreesboro, wherever that is, or wherever the name of the town is, Tennessee.
I've never went as ham as I've ever done in my life, and I don't think I've ever gone that ham since, as far as like partying goes.
You got hammed out.
Like we went buck, like
It was
They
a fun
did.
time.
They,
It was like-
these two
Fun
did.
time.
Yeah.
we're like we went to a festival. Put it that way.
Yeah. Full festival
The whole-
experience for these
full
younger
experience.
guys, teenagers.
Haven't really done that since, like that bad.
David ripped open a tent.
yeah,
Yeah.
punched
Right.
the hole in the tent.
Although I think one of the funniest moments that at least we had was like one of the nights we were all
Oh,
we were just really
shit.
we were really partying, and we saw a little stand for was
I
it like
remember
Ben and
this.
Jerry's ice cream or something, right? That's
yeah,
what it was.
Yeah.
And we're both just standing there. We're looking like ice cream sounds really good, and we're just standing there. But we're like so messed up that we don't know how to communicate with this guy. We like literally
You
just
don't
standing
communicate
there
with each other at this
staring
point.
for a long
Can I
time.
help you?
For a long time, bro. We just didn't know how to interact with him. We were like,
which one do you want? It was like this awkward pause, and I just went half baked.
Yeah.
And then he just started like he literally started laughing out loud, like he couldn't even no sell it anymore. He
It was funny,
he was
man.
cracking up. He's like, "Enjoy yourself." And then the last thing, because this is, yeah, we all hung out, but there was points of me and David like wandered off a
Yeah.
lot of that festival.
Yeah.
I remember
They
there was
were
this
on their
one
own
show-
tangent.
You know how people at the festivals have the big heads or something to find their
Oh
friends?
yeah.
There,
I
somebody
remember
had
this.
fucking B. Arthur on a stick, and we were partying, and the dude turned it around, and then it was fucking like neon lights on the eyes.
Yeah, like all
and
scary.
It was like just staring at us. We looked at each other. We're like, should we go? We were like, yeah, I think we should go. Let's go over there. We like totally left. We were tweaking.
That was so funny.
That is funny as hell.
Bro, good times.
But yeah, there was a lot of great shows.
There were more artists there. I'm drawing blank now.
There's
but-
so many.
Yeah, there was like
It's-
50.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
we saw
artists
so
so
many
hard.
bands.
Spoon.
Dude.
Yeah.
Spoon
that
was there.
cool.
Yeah.
There's just so many. It's hard to remember all of it.
And then me, Larry, and David all went to Peach Fest in 2017.
Yeah, it
it's
was
Peach
2017. That was right when I turned 21.
Yeah.
That was a bad. We saw My Morning Jacket that night too in the rain, and that was like in a rainstorm.
Terrible storm.
It was so epic, and that was actually right after Greg Allman passed away.
Yep.
And in the middle of a rainstorm, Jim James was playing the music to Melissa from the Allman Brothers, but then sang Bob Dylan in the wind, blowing in the wind. I think. How Many Roads? Been he singing that song?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, and it was like,
Then it went into My Morning Jacket song.
yeah, and I mean, like, let's not cap, we're sky high, right? So I'm like singing the song, and I'm like, this is not the song, but I know the words. And then I'm realizing that he's like mixing lyrics and songs, and then he started singing the Allman Brothers song, and the whole crowd just
crazy.
exploded. Yeah, because it's Peach Fest, it's an Allman Brothers like festival essentially, and like Greg just passed away, so it was just a beautiful moment. It was so cool, and the pouring rain too was just epic.
Remember we found that blunt on the ground in a plastic bag,
Yeah,
saved from the water.
yeah. Shaka Khan.
Shaka
Dude,
Khan with lettuce.
Shaka Khan pulled up at 3 a.m. and just
Wild.
tore the place up.
Yeah,
Like
it was
Lettuce was
insane.
playing featuring Shaka Khan, and like they're a great band too. They were laying the jams down, but
Then
like
then they did
the
that
hype
cover.
man.
They did that cover of the song we were singing all day.
Yeah,
like, it
love
popped-
the one you're with.
It popped into my head like in the morning, like 8, 9 in the morning, and then all day long,
Yeah,
way later at night, they do a cover of it.
literally the next day in the morning.
It didn't make any
it was
sense.
like that
We were
late.
just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It was so
it was so random, dude. Yeah, the
It didn't
Isley
even seem
brothers.
real, dude.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Plus,
That
it was Shaka Khan singing it, then Lettuce, and then
yeah,
Eric Krasno was on stage with them.
Yes.
You know,
yeah, it was nuts. Like when Shaka Khan came out, and she's an older girl. I mean, she was putting albums out in the '70s, like, but I mean, the whole show just elevated like immensely. Like the hype man came out, you know, ladies and gentlemen, Shaka Khan. You know what I'm saying? They dropped "Tell Me Something Good." Ow, ow. Just man, it was wild. It was a great show.
Yeah.
There's so many concerts, man. It's so
Yeah.
so grateful. Like I'm thinking
So
about
I
it, like
figured
shit.
It was a good topic.
Yeah,
Hey, shit, fuck Paul, dude.
Paul McCartney.
Paul
Yeah, you guys
Paul
saw
McCartney for our. Didn't you see Paul, or am I tweaking?
I haven't.
I saw Paul twice.
Yeah,
I
you
wish.
saw Paul twice.
I saw Paul twice.
But we
Yeah.
saw Paul for our high school graduation. We went with our cousin Marty. and
Yeah,
his mom,
the same
and
guy
Aunt
that broke
Cheryl.
our friend's hand.
Shout out, she listens to the podcast.
Yeah, and
Hello.
Oh,
Cheryl.
she's about to listen to this like, you broke Foley's hand? Or she might have remembered that. But
Shout out Aunt Cheryl.
shout
Yeah,
out
we
Aunt
went.
Cheryl. Yeah, we went, dude, and I remember, like, at that point, dude, well, he always throws on a kick-ass show, but I remember he opened up with All My Lovin'. It
Yeah,
had, like, this thing where it was, like, it shows his montage.
yeah, like a picture
Yeah,
like
and
thing
it's like
of all
they
the
try to make it
Beatles.
look like old school in the arena, and all of a sudden it's like, 1, 2, 3, close your eyes.
Yeah.
And I just remember like, just like feeling just like this overwhelming like, oh fuck, that's a Beatle.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
It's like that.
Yeah,
It is like
it was
that.
like that.
Yeah.
It's still like that. You see a guy and you're like, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, we
When I-
all fucking love the Beatles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
when I saw Paul McCartney, it was 2009 at Wrigley Field, and he
That's
opened
sick.
up with Jet.
That is so sick.
And there were these big. The stage was huge, obviously, in the back of the field, but there were these two big like monitors, like they span the whole length of the stage,
Mhm.
and there's just jets just
Yeah.
flying and all the visuals around it.
He played
Hell
Jack Bullock
yeah.
when we-
It was
when
epic.
we
Yeah.
saw him. That's probably one of my favorite Paul McCartney songs.
They
too.
played like I mean,
Yeah,
he played,
Wings.
every song he played was a banger, obviously, because he's
Yeah.
got so many of them.
Long Winding Road.
Yeah, like so many songs like post Beatles,
Yeah.
and then still so many Beatles songs, and it's just like holy shit, all one guy
Remember we
through
saw
like
Robert Plant
eras,
at the
multiple eras.
Riviera?
Yes, yeah, that was sick. That
Just
was so
randomly, it was
sick.
just like, I'm just gonna get the tickets and we're just gonna go. I got off of work at 6, drove all the way home, got this guy.
That was
then
sold
drove
out.
all the way back to the city to see Robert Plant.
I don't think I've ever been to a concert that packed ever.
It was packed.
That was
dude.
crazy packed.
We were basically standing on the stairs.
There was nowhere, yeah, like everywhere
We tried to
you
walk
could
further,
go
but you couldn't get any further.
was a part of the audience. Like the bar, the stage, everything was just. People were just every single where you could be. You
Yep.
couldn't go anywhere without like scooting through people anywhere in the building. It was crazy.
Sounds
it was
like they
awesome.
definitely oversold that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's Robert
Fire
Plant,
hazard.
dude.
Well,
I
they should have
mean,
played somewhere bigger. That was the problem.
yeah,
I mean, obviously. It's
but
Robert
it was
Plant.
sick. I mean, And he's actually, I just saw that he's coming on tour again with Alison Krauss next year, and I'm definitely gonna try and go to that.
Shit.
Shit, we all saw Ozzy. You were at Ozzy, right?
No,
we
that's the
can-
one I didn't go to.
We can go through that whole tangent. Yeah,
I saw Sabbath.
Yeah,
He's seen Sabbath.
I didn't see Sabbath.
You didn't see Sabbath. You saw Ozzy with us.
yeah.
We've seen Sabbath. That whole
Three times.
that whole bout that they came back together. We only missed one
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Actually, no. We actually seen all the Sabbath show. We missed the one.
We missed the Ozzy show at
that he
open
did
air.
At open air.
We didn't go to
But-
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but we won't talk about all of them. We'll definitely fucking talk about Lollapalooza, the first show.
2012.
Because that I think, I don't know, I've had a lot of turning points, and that was one of the biggest turning points in my life, and that was one of the most important concerts I've ever went to. It's probably my number one concert I've ever been to in my life still to this day, and I don't think that'll change.
Yeah,
That's
I
like-
probably agree with that.
It's my favorite band.
Guardrail,
Like, yeah.
Black Sabbath.
It's like the next one would be
It's
is like
just like-
seeing Led Zeppelin live, and it's not going to happen.
No.
And so I got to see Sabbath. You know
Wishful
what I mean?
thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I got to see Black Sabbath. But they opened up with the whole first side
Of their first
of
album.
the first record.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they've done that since.
now on my, and I think we talked about this in the Sabbath episode, but on my life, when they played Behind the Wall of Sleep, Tony Iommi gave me the devil horns. He looked at me in the eye and did that shit. We were literally on the guardrail, bro.
It's true. I was there.
Down, down,
true.
da-da,
Can confirm.
down, when they're like hanging on it. Down, down, da-da-da, down. And I'm just like rocking out, and then he just like looks up and gives me a little wink, and he fucking gives me it. And he's like, down, down. And I just like, you guys saw that shit,
Yeah.
right? I just started crying, bro. I was
Yeah.
like freaking
Wow.
out. We got Ozzy sweat water all
We
over us.
were like sophomores, right? Or it was just over the summer,
It
but
was
we
sophomore.
were
You were watching
going
the
in.
video feed.
Yeah.
We were going into sophomore year.
You
I
were
think.
texting. You're like, dude,
Yeah.
this is badass.
Yeah, I was watching.
And we were like, dude, we're up front. Yeah, and he's watching the live stream.
Didn't somebody next to you guys just piss their pants because they didn't want to leave?
No, this dude like left. Something happened with this guy that left and like came back like hours later or something. Like he left to go pee or something. You remember this? And Schmuck was like talking to him or something.
Yeah.
And this dude
We
pulled
found
up
him
like
later.
like way later. Yeah.
Like when it was packed, and then we like
He's like,
yeah, and he's like, come back up to
yeah,
the front,
all the way
baby."
to the front.
Yeah, we camped there all day. I do remember I left for a little bit to
We
go
left
see the Band of Skulls.
to go see Band of
at,
Skulls.
I was really into them at that time.
That was probably early enough too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we made it back, and we
Yeah.
had guys holding the camp down for us. Schmuck was there and shit. So yeah.
But yeah, badass show. They fucking, it's kicked it off. It was before 13 came out. It was actually the first show they did as Black Sabbath
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah, that's why it was huge because
Yeah.
it wasn't even a tour. It was just like
It was like
Sabbath
the
is
first-
playing
It's crazy that they were
Lollapalooza.
playing. Yeah, it's crazy that it was there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It was
Oh
the-
my god,
It was
dude.
the first reunion show.
It was nuts.
And we were like, we have to go.
Yeah, that
And
was before we
honestly,
knew that they were gonna come again. Like we were like, we have. Like,
Shout
it's no question.
out, dude. Nana bought all of us
Yeah,
tickets.
I
as a
remember you guys
present.
called
Really?
me.
Nana bought me, Larry, freaking Marty, Mike, and Vicky.
And Victoria,
bought
yeah.
us all tickets
Jeez.
Crazy.
to go to that day because she knew how important it was. So shout out to Nana.
Yeah,
Wow.
hell
That was
yeah.
epic.
Yeah.
I remember you guys called. Like I was half asleep, and I remember you guys called me, and I was like half asleep, and it like didn't resonate with me until the morning. And then my mom was like, you know, you guys talked on the phone last night, and you got tickets to Lala, and I was just like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like,
You're like, yeah, what about it?
yeah, like no, everyone was like, you guys are all hyped on the phone. I remember I was in my old room, and I just remember being like, yeah, you know, like I don't know. I just remember being like out of it, like asleep and shit, because whatever it was, I was tired. And then the next day, being like, holy shit, it dawned on me then. And then yeah, we got there, took the train like first thing in the morning. Train was already packed with a bunch of Sabbath fans, and everyone from all over the fucking Chicagoland area that cared that much about it like we did. So it was like the whole Sabbath army was just like there, and like we just stormed the front of the stage and like didn't leave. Like, it was sick, man. It was amazing.
Yeah, we made the Lollapalooza YouTube page.
Yeah. Yeah, we were on the camera, like they were like recording us and shit. We're like, Sabbath.
Shout out to all the douchebags in the comments. Like, everyone in Chicago that fat. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn right, we got,
That
we
was
got,
a
good, we
comment.
got good food. We
They're
got
like,
good
man,
food,
everyone in
right?"
this video is fat. Somebody
There was, like,
commented
so
that.
many- yeah.
It was
That's
awesome,
funny as
honestly.
hell.
It was
We
hilarious.
were watching, we like read the comment, we're like, what the fuck?
Oh god.
Gotta love the internet.
That was funny as hell. Yeah.
But yeah, we went on to see them. We went on to see them every time they came back,
Yeah.
and that led into the Ozzy tour.
And then Ozzy came, yeah.
And you got fucking trashed. crashed at that show.
Yeah, I did. I really did. Yeah.
The whiskey.
2018. Yeah. Well, I had a coworker, Jennifer, that she was working. We worked together, and then she got a new job, whatever, and like we had kept in touch. She's talking about she's a bartender for Tinley Park, so I messaged her and I'm like, "Yo, are you gonna be working the Ozzy show?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Pull up to this. This is the bar that I'm at serving." And I mean, it was like 80% Jim Beam, 20% Coke. You pay for the cup once, and they'll fill it for you. So she was just, I mean, she hooked me up, and I almost regret it. I almost regret being as drunk as I was, because the whole concert's kind of like a blur, but it was awesome. And Cheryl was at that concert too.
Yeah, I'm so grateful we got to catch it, because we never saw Ozzy.
Yeah.
And honestly, he hasn't really played since.
Yeah, he
And
hasn't.
never
He
finished
hasn't
the
came.
tour.
He hasn't came back to Chicago. That was the last time he was
never
in
finished
Chicago.
the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He released a statement a few days ago that
He backed out.
He's probably not going to do it anymore.
He's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel bad. I don't
Yeah.
want to say that. He's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Be like that.
but yeah, dude, he played Perry Mason. He does that whole instrumental, like
Dude.
medley.
Yeah.
Obviously played all the classics. Yeah, it was a cool show.
Bark at the Moon.
Yeah, celebration of life. you know what I
Suicide
mean?
Solution.
Goodbye to romance.
Goodbye to
Yeah.
Romance.
Road to Nowhere.
Oh yeah, Road to Nowhere, man. That was a
I played
good one.
I Don't Know. Dude, yeah, I mean, anything you could really think of that you'd want to hear from Ozzy, he did and more.
Zach Wilde had that solo where he's just walking on the crowd
Dude,
for like 25
It
minutes.
was insane. it was crazy, dude. I was just like looking, and I was like, "Is this even real?" Like, it was just not.
And,
Like,
then that's when they were doing the medley, because then it was just like he was just going into
Yeah.
song
Yeah,
after
just
song
coming
after
in-
song.
yeah.
just
coming
going
in.
haywire, dude. Just absolutely haywire. It was awesome.
Suicide Solution. he played.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. God, I wish I could see him again. If he does end up ever coming back, it'll be a really good karaoke show. Best damn one I've ever.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Yeah. I mean, I would pay just to see Ozzy. I don't even care if he sings. I would pay just to be in an area where Ozzy is, just to be close to him. I don't give a fuck if he sings or not. Like, I just want to pay to just see Ozzy.
Hear him tell stories. or
Yeah,
something.
like, I don't care. Yeah, like, it's Ozzy. It's worth it to me, you know. But yeah, that was a great show. I'm trying to think of some other really good ones. There's so many.
I got a bunch,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna rapid fire some,
Let it ride.
and we could talk about them. So, first concert was Kings of Leon. Then we saw Kings of Leon again later on
At the
at the
UC
United Center. Also a pretty good show.
Mechanical Bull Tour.
That was with Gary Clark, right?
Gary Clark Jr. It was a pretty good show. It was awesome. I think my only gripe is like I personally feel like if you're gonna go to a concert at the United Center, the seats really do matter. Cause like we was pretty high up, and it's just not as like good sounding when you're like all the way up there at the UC. But like it was still good. Don't get me wrong. But that's the only thing about that.
I remember they opened up with Charmer, dude.
Yeah, that was wild.
They had like one of those things where they had to drape around the stage. They
Yeah,
always-
curtain. And they had the lights, so their shadows were on the curtain like huge.
From
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he comes up.
and then it all dropped
and
when
then
the
once
song
guitar
dropped in.
Came in. Yeah, dude, it was sick.
That was really cool. And then we met their cousin, Nacho.
Nacho, dude,
The
that was
roadie.
during that tour. He was like, "We're giving away VIP tickets. I am on the 3rd floor of the United Center. Come
Yeah.
find me." And we
Yeah.
ran around.
And we did find him, but he had just gotten rid of the last front row tickets.
He took a picture with us though. He was
Yeah.
a very nice dude. And also at the time, we were fucking super fans. Me and David would
Yeah.
watch Tally and his Skies Are Dying.
And you
like
know who he
once
is.
a week.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
an honorary member of
He
the
is.
band.
Yeah,
He
he's
was.
the
He's
roadie
the roadie.
He's in the
cousin
family.
who's
Yeah.
just always with them all the
Yeah.
time.
He probably gave him to girls.
But it was cool though. He did it every show.
Uh-huh.
Like literally every show that he had a bunch of front row tickets, and he would just go to like the worst seats
Yeah.
and just start passing them out to people.
That's sick.
That's sick.
And it's so awesome. And we were like, dude, this could literally happen to us right now. And
Well, they
we
always say like the
Yeah.
real fans are the ones who really can't afford the fucking
Exactly.
$1,000 tickets.
Yeah.
Probably
right.
the most famous roadie
That's true.
out there. He gets chants. Like he walks up and like, nah.
Yeah, when I saw
Really?
when I
Yeah,
saw
he's-
them at Lala,
KOL
that's-
fans know, dude.
the
He's
group that was
famous.
next to me, they were like pointing him out, like when he
Yeah.
was like doing his thing.
"Nacho!"
They're like, there he is, like some girls, and I was like talking like, you guys know this is Nacho, and they're like, yeah. It was funny.
he does all the sound checks,
Yeah.
all
He's
that
pretty
shit.
much their one tech. Like, I mean, they have a bunch of techs, but he kind of
He's
he was
the-
their first tech.
He's the guy.
He was their first tech.
He's a
Yeah.
family member.
Yeah, he's the
Stagehand.
OG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was their first stage stand, OG on the first tours. Badass.
Who else you see, David?
Well, you had the United Center just recently. I saw the Killers,
Oh yeah.
and I
That's
was
sick.
literally not on the guardrail, but I was like second or third row at the United Center for that, and that was insane.
That's really cool.
Because honestly, I never thought it'd be that close for a show at the United Center.
Yeah, I've
I
never
never
been.
have.
And like that's Gabby's favorite band, and like I enjoy them. So she was like, "We're going, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna get like
Go all
right
out.
up there." Got VIP and all that,
Yeah.
and it was insane. And they're definitely a band where like I like them, but seeing them just made me like respect it so much more because like they are so good. Like they put on such a good show. Musically, it's awesome. Like it was badass. It was so sick. And then Johnny Marr opened the show, and that was so badass. Like he was so awesome. Like that was another just like surprise thing that just worked out because it's like he's not someone I would ever go out of my way to see,
Right.
but it was super sick to see him. Like he's just such a classic guy. He's such a classic English musician.
Yeah.
He totally looks and acts like it, and it's awesome. Let's see. I know we've all seen like Billy Strings. We've seen Marcus King.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple times.
Hell yeah.
We've all seen Buddy Guy.
God bless
Yeah.
that man.
We've been to Legends. This past winter, we went together.
As a band,
to
yeah.
go see
that
him,
was
and-
that was badass.
Corey Dennison, our homeboy,
Fire.
opened
Shout
up.
out.
It's one of my favorite blues players around.
Yeah, Chicago blues guy.
And we saw System of a Down.
Dude.
Yeah,
That
you
one
guys did
time.
that.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
sick.
so sick, dude.
That was a
really
great good show.
That was
That
at
was open air,
Chicago
right? Yeah,
open
open
air.
air.
Yeah. Me.
Me and AP went the next day and saw two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when
And
he broke his shit,
foot.
right?
He got stomped on.
I
I think Marty might have been there.
That was really cool. System of a Down was awesome because I've been listening to them since I was a kid, so it was just so awesome to finally like see them, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and hear it live. We saw Foo Fighters,
The Wasted
Summerfest
Light
in
tour.
Milwaukee,
Yeah.
and what I consider to be
They're
the
high.
peak of Foo Fighters personally. Like that's debatable, obviously.
The
but
Wasting Light tour, yeah.
yeah, like to me that
That's
was like
awesome.
I like all their music. Don't get me wrong, but that to me was like when
Peak.
they were like really like at the height of their career and
They
just
were
like the
peaking.
absolute best music
Best
coming out.
songwriting.
Yeah, you know. And God, it was such a sick show. And I just remember we were at Summerfest all day.
We saw the
And,
Charm City Devils. Remember we were
Yeah.
into them at the time.
and I got a shout out to my dad Ben for taking us.
Yeah, we went. It was just us three.
Literally
It was
us
awesome.
three go up to
Yeah, he took
Milwaukee.
us.
Hell
and
yeah,
then
dude. Mr.
We were
Ben.
there all day. Yeah, Charm City Devils. We saw some other bands. I don't really remember like any other specifics off the top of my
I still
head.
have the signed CD from them.
Silver Sun Pickups opened for the Foo Fighters
Oh, that's
though.
cool.
Yeah, it was.
That was
cool.
pretty cool. And then what was crazy about it is like it took forever to try to get out because it was just such madness there, so many people.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got home, it was like super fucking late, and my dad just went to work because he works early in the morning.
Holy shit.
So yeah,
Savage.
so shout out to him for that. It's
Yeah,
very
what you gotta
very
do.
rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Hell
Very
yeah.
grateful for that because it was definitely that one definitely for me is up there and one of my favorite shows that I've
Anything
ever
for the
seen.
kids, you know?
Oh, dude, stand out, dude. They played
Yeah.
Hey Johnny Park.
That's in my
That's
that's
sick.
that's definitely in my top. Like I don't know if I have a number one for sure, but that's up. That's like top 3 for me of shows that I've seen.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, they throw on a badass show. I've seen them twice. By the time you guys hear this, I've already have seen them. But I'm going to the Harley Davidson Festival to go see them this Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I saw him at Wrigley Field,
Yeah.
but it was after he broke his leg.
So he was
I
in the
got to see
throne.
the famous throne, and we weren't right up front. But when I went, I was at the point where it would come out, and he was like right, like I mean you guys can't see, but it was like he was like right fucking there, like at the ceiling basically. But yeah,
You saw Naked Ray Gun, too, right?
Naked Ray Gun,
That's pretty
Cheap
sick.
Trick.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, me and Frank went down to Kentucky to 2019, the summer of 2019 on the fly with our buddy Nathan. And we went and saw the Foo Fighters there too, and it was all day music. Opening up for the Foo Fighters was John Fogerty, man.
John Fogerty.
Something about seeing John Fogerty after drinking bourbon all day in Kentucky.
It was right.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
probably
so sick,
It hit the
man.
spot.
And he has so many good songs, and he's such a cool individual, like, and such a cool person to hear speak. And I love CCR, like,
He's
with
so
my
chill.
heart. Yeah, like, I love that band. I've listened to that band my whole life. You know, like, old time band. All my uncles play that shit growing up, whatever. But, like, just hearing him, like, tell stories, because it was his 50th anniversary tour.
He played Woodstock.
Yeah, and he was talking about Woodstock, and he was just like, he had a good sense of humor, and like he was just awesome, and like, and he wasn't like, I can't explain it. Like, he was still like, he kept everything super relevant, and like, it wasn't like you were seeing an old man. I can't explain it. Like, and he just ripped songs all night. You knew every song that he played. I remember this drunk dude that was next to us. He was like, even if you don't know it, you know every damn song this guy's singing right now, and you should all be fucking grateful. Like, he was just like so hyped. He was just wasted, like, going.
That's crazy.
And this was the Bourbon and Beyond Festival, so needless to say, it was Bourbon and Beyond.
It was beyond.
Yeah, and
There was a bunch of bands there.
it was awesome. And then after that, yeah, there was Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, who I'm not like diehard about, but they put on an amazing show. Lucas Nelson and the Promise of the Real,
that's
Willie
awesome,
Nelson's
yeah.
son. Joan Jett was there that night. The record company played.
Nice.
The New Orleans brass band played. The
Preservation Hall?
Yes, Preservation Hall jazz band played.
I forget the name of the band, but they have the Flaming Lips played.
The Flaming
What?
Lips, yeah, and he was
Yeah.
out there in the bubble.
That's so
Dude, I love
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
I
They had
really
the-
do.
they had
That
the-
was a
they had
sick
the giant
concert,
pink robot,
dude.
like inflatable.
Yeah, they're a band that I really should go see. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
They're
epic,
honestly,
dude.
I honestly do. Really
I'm so
like
glad I
them a
caught
lot.
that, because that was
yeah.
something that I wouldn't like. I've seen videos of that, and they have the epic live show, and he's in the bubble and shit, and
Yeah.
do that. And
Green
I've
Sky
seen it.
Bluegrass played too.
Yeah, Green Sky was
crazy.
there.
There was
Yeah,
it was just all day.
I seen
man.
them for New Year's one year. I forget what year it was.
dude, we were at this. Well, not the same show, but
same
different
week,
nights.
same weekend. Yeah, they put on a good show. I just remembered some other ones. I saw Aretha Franklin
Oh,
at
dude.
Ravinia. I saw Taj Mahal at the Old Town School of Folk Music. That was super sick.
That's epic
yeah.
as hell, man. That's seriously legend. That's like legend status shit.
Dude, we all saw Jeff Beck and Buddy Guy.
Yeah,
Jeff Beck.
rip Jeff Beck, man. That is epic. We did see that. Holy shit.
We've seen Tedeschi Truck Band.
Yeah,
I
was gonna-
together and individually.
Bro,
more
I was
times than
gonna
we
I was
count.
gonna save
Yeah.
that, but now that you brought it up,
Sorry.
yeah. No, I was just gonna save it for the end because I was gonna get everything else out of the way. But yeah, I have seen Tedeschi Trucks
A
band
lot.
more than I have seen any other band ever besides our band.
Yeah,
But that doesn't count because I'm in it.
yeah.
But yeah, I've seen them over 10 times now, and it literally never disappoints. Like I love all sorts of music, but like if you're talking about a live music experience, like I don't think
Freedom.
there's a better group that puts on a better musical performance than that group. Like there's probably bands that put on better shows like in other aspects, but it's like, dude, they got horns, they got backup singers, they got one of the
Keyboards.
greatest guitar players on the
Ever.
planet,
Ever.
one of the greatest singers on the planet, and it's just literally just like the biggest. It's a musical circus. Like
Yep.
Yeah,
they
it
all
moves
take
you.
solos. They have all these good songs.
The
They'll
vocal
play
solos.
covers,
Yeah.
and like it's literally so. It just warms your heart. Like
And-
you feel good. It's just like it's literally like a soulful experience every time.
And it's never the same show twice.
Yeah,
That's what I like about them
Yeah,
too.
never.
Is they keep the energy level. They never decrease the energy level, but they never play the same show twice. Like, there's songs that you
Yeah.
want because you see them. You know, we've seen them so many times. There might be songs that you wanted to hear but didn't hear, but they'll surprise you with something that made it worthwhile anyway.
Yeah.
Because they just do every single show. They have that tier. They're on that tier, like,
Yeah.
and they'll never fall short.
Yeah,
they
like,
don't miss. They
I've
just don't miss.
literally seen them so many times, and every single time, there's something or multiple things they do that I've never seen.
Yeah,
And like, there's still songs I've never heard them play.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true too.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to say I've seen a band that many times, and there's still shit I have not heard them do yet. That's crazy. You know, and I'll probably always go to see them like throughout the years. Like, I used to be very on it. Like, I would go every opportunity. I've seen them multiple nights of a run, you know what I mean? Like, but now I'm at a point where I've seen them so many times that I don't prioritize it as much just because I want to experience more other things. But like, I'll still always go and see them, like, it's, you know, here and there. So
Remember, oh, shit.
Highly recommend.
Oh yeah.
Remember about the burns on my legs, bro? And bruise on the fox.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
dude.
dude.
That was Tedeschi Trucks band.
First off,
yeah.
that's why I wanted to tie this in. Tedeschi Trucks band, Blues on the Fox.
That is sick that
I'm
they
gonna
were
go-
in Aurora.
I'm gonna go back and forth. Our David's cousin wedding was literally that day, and we left. It was a day wedding. It's when he married Kristen, and then we went to Blues on the Fox after. But the day before that,
That was
I was
day.
on a whole camping trip with my Uncle Jeff at a cabin. I fell asleep on a boat, face down, no sunscreen.
Don't fall asleep on a
Burnt
boat.
the shit out of my legs.
It was
like
bad.
the shit.
It was
out of my legs.
disgusting.
They were literally
Yeah.
just red.
They looked like clear golf balls, bubbles of pus on the back of his. I know it sounds disgusting, but that's really what
It's
it looked like.
sun poisoning.
Yeah,
essentially.
they were like bubbles of pus the size of golf balls all over the back of his calves, up to the back of his knees.
Ugh.
And then my dumb ass.
You could see right through them like balloons.
I was like, I'm going to a wedding. I gotta wear pants, rubbing against my thighs all day, or not my thighs, my calves. That's where it was. And then we go to the concert. Also, shout out to my fiance. Her and her old group were at that concert to the left of us, and we shared a doobie with them at that show.
Right on.
So wild.
Right
Well,
on.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
When she was with her old one, I was with Kathy at the time. We're
Oh.
fucking. My legs were killing me, dude. We're like, I was trying to enjoy it like with all my might, and then towards the end of it, I just started feeling weird, and I was like, I need to go home, but I gotta ride it out.
Yeah.
But then I remember, I was like walking back, and I was like, Larry, you gotta help me, dude. I'm serious. And you
Yeah.
were like, Al, you're fine. Is it really that bad?
Yeah.
And then I was like, can you drive home? You're like, seriously? I was like, dude, I can't
Then I realized-
fucking bend my legs.
That was
Can you
bad.
please drive home?
Yeah.
I laid flat
You went to the
in the
doctor.
back seat.
Yeah, you had to
You
make
got like certified.
bandages.
He got like legitimately burned. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
I
was like
came
third
home.
degree.
Yeah, I came home. I took off my pants finally, and then Larry and me were like, ah,
Yeah.
like one of those things.
Yeah,
And
it was
then
really, really
I
uncomfortable
didn't-
to see. It was like, holy shit,
I
this
didn't
guy
go
needs
to the
medical
doctor
attention.
that night. The next morning,
Holy shit.
but the next morning, I still didn't go to the doctor. I was in denial,
Yeah.
and we said, after the show, me and Larry were like, fuck this, let's go drink beer in my pool at 11
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah.
So we drank beer in my pool at 11 a.m.
I remember when you put your legs in the pool and you were sitting on a deck and you were almost in tears. Or you're just like, oh my god,
And we were just
the
like,
cooling
yeah, we
water
were
on
just
his
drinking
legs.
Beer, and then I got out of the pool, and my mom was just like, Al.
You need
and
to
then
go to a
Russ came
doctor.
out. But then Russ came out. He's like, dude,
Oh, yeah,
what the
Russ was
fuck?
there,
He's
yeah.
like, do you want to get your legs chopped off? Go to the fucking doctor. And then he like was like, get him there
Seriously,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. So my mom rushed me over there. Yeah, and they had to like pop shit
Yeah.
and
Oh
like
my
give me
God,
burn
bro.
cream.
It was fucking
awful
wild.
work because I was like wrapped and I couldn't
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah, he
was
couldn't
bad.
really bend his legs. He was like, yeah, it was that was
real
crazy
bad.
One
as
of the
shit.
most like
You're like the fish from
like,
SpongeBob.
I would call it embarrassing,
leg.
but I regretted that I let my health like, you know what I mean? I took it for granted at that point because it could have got bad and I could have lost my legs. I was being stubborn. I
Yeah.
don't like going to the doctor.
It was full
either
of
way.
pus. It could have got infected and
Yeah,
it could have got
so-
spread and yeah, that was fucking wild, dude. That
We
really
got
was
MRSA,
crazy.
dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was bad. It was dumb. I should have went right away.
Oh,
But
whatever.
and you went to Against Me. I was supposed to see Against Me that weekend. And
Oh, yeah.
the doctor was like, nah. Just
And I
stay
went
home.
with Sam and Dan. That
At
was
the
a
at the
sick
Metro,
show, dude.
and I was supposed
oh
to
my
go.
god.
So you can talk about that now. Segue.
Yeah. Not really big on Against Me, but my buddy Dan
Love
is
them.
punk band. Sick. I mean, dude, and I was particularly into this album that came out at that time, and
Was it transgender?
yeah, Dysphoria
Blues?
Blues. Yeah, it was sick.
That's a good album.
Yeah.
Very honest.
Yeah, so the singer made a gender change, and she was just laying it out. Like, you felt that energy, like, of the show, and, like, it was so fucking electric. And it was at the Metro, small spot in Chicago, right next to Wrigley Field on the street. And the room there is just something magical about that room because of the size, and, like, the sound quality is so good. And it was just, people were just flying all over the place, and, like, I loved the show, and like I wasn't even as huge of a fan as our buddy Dan was, and Dan still says to this day that was top 3 concerts that he's ever been to, and I was like, yeah, man, it was kick
Really?
ass, dude.
That's awesome.
Dude, they shredded. Like, it was just, and the energy was there, dude, and they were just, just smoker after bang bang, like every single song was just, it was big hype, man. Bras are on the stage. It was one of those shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. It was just so sick.
That was that band that got away from me because I almost saw them at Riot Fest, and I don't know what happened. Like, I wasn't even drinking. I passed out, like, straight up. I don't know if I was dehydrated or something.
Didn't you turn green?
Yeah, I turned green. I passed out. Dominic caught me, and they dragged me out. And then I was fine for the rest of the
That
day.
Riot
Something,
Fest,
and it was
yeah.
good. But I passed out at that show, and then I got the burns, and then I couldn't see them again.
Yeah,
It was
so you
almost a
missed
curse.
them. Yeah.
And then I finally got to see them opening for Green Day, but it honestly was only a 30-minute opening set, so I still need a redemption.
I would see them
But I was
again,
like,
man,
yeah,
for
fucking
sure.
cursed, I guess, to see them.
Yeah.
But wild.
Another.
All right, guys, that concludes part 1 of the concerts episode. Tune in next week for part 2 of our concerts episode on another exciting episode of Battle Supreme. Like, subscribe, do something. God bless. Peace out.